Hello and welcome to a special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Ochsner. We're glad to have you with us as we come to you from the offices of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association right here in Denver, Colorado. This is home base for an organization that works every day, not only on behalf of more than 30,000 NCBA members and state affiliates, but also for the good of the entire U.S. beef cattle industry. This time around, we're going to bring you a special look at some of the programs, the activities, and the people of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. We begin with a look at NCBA's mission and how the organization works to win policy battles for cattlemen and women, as Russell Nemitz reports.
Each year, cattlemen and women from across the country gather to set the policy goals for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. The NCBA policy book, created as a result of this grassroots producer input, directs Colin Woodall and others in the NCBA Washington office as they work on Capitol Hill.
Those of us on staff at NCBA, we work the Hill every day. Call it burning boot leather on Capitol Hill. And it's our job to go in and have relationships with members of Congress and their staff. Every vote, every bill, every piece of legislation that comes out of D.C. has an impact on your operation back home. And the only way to affect that is to come and get engaged and make sure that your member of Congress knows where you stand.
That is the real value of why they belong to NCBA, is that representation and that boot leather that we burn on Capitol Hill each and every day as a staff. That's what's most important to them and the value of their membership.
NCBA's Washington office is located right on Pennsylvania Avenue, and from here, Colin and his colleagues keep an eye on anything Congress and the federal government might do that affects NCBA members and the beef cattle industry.
Washington, D.C. rarely sleeps. Congress is in session year-round. The administration is always in place, and they are always working on rules, regulations, or potential laws that are going to impact our members. So you can't just show up once or twice a year and expect to have a great impact on the process.
The NCBA Washington office is staffed by professionals, many with cattle backgrounds. Together, they have the skill to tackle any issue from animal health to trade and from taxes to environmental regulation. They fight for the interests of cattle-producing families and work to head off legislation or regulations that could negatively impact the business climate for beef cattle producers.
The really key thing to me is that we are here every day in Washington, D.C. Our staff is, they're here to answer legislative questions. They're here to carry our policies every day, to find out what's going on. And in the agency area, there are regulations being written every day. So producers need to know that NCBA is here protecting their interests in Washington, D.C. every day, day in, day out.
That's why NCBA has a staff in place in Washington, D.C. year-round. And it's our job to make sure that we're working each and every day and continuing to build the relationships with these members of Congress and ultimately know that every time they cast a vote, we're watching. And we're going to judge them accordingly and make sure that when they go to the floor to vote on a bill, that they're thinking about the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and all the cattle producers back home.
In Washington, I'm Russell Nemitz reporting for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.